Hello and blessings. I appreciate whoever is watching this, if anybody watches this. I went to a church today. It's like a mega church style church. I was hoping to get some Christmas music, That's really what I wanted. The Catholic church I've been going to, they tend to just have music out of their hymnal. And they have a talented, it's not a choir, there's like a couple of singers and organist. I think there was a trumpet player for some of it, and it's beautiful. It's very pretty. It's a big kind of open church, so there's good acoustics but it's not really. I didn't anticipate that would be a good place to go to hear Christmas music, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of music exactly it is that I like. I guess it's traditional Christmas hymns, carols. I'm not exactly sure how to classify it or categorize it, but O Holy Night, O Come Emmanuel. So some of these that are, I mean, they're not ancient, but they're also not, contemporary, secular. No, tunes, Christmas tunes. They're Jesus-based Christian tunes. Joy to the world, that kind of stuff. And so I just thought through the Rolodex of my mind and thought, well, music is a huge feature of a lot of evangelical services, and especially some of the bigger churches. They tend to have like a full band. And I thought, I put 2 and 2 together, or 3 and 3 together, whatever the math was, and I went to this church not too far from where I live. It's a big church, the kind of church where they refer to, there's multiple buildings, and they kind of refer to it as a campus. And it does, and I can understand that choice of terms, because it feels more like a college campus in a way. Just multiple buildings, just the architecture, the whole vibe, the layout. And it was interesting. It wasn't at all what I wanted. 0 Christmas tunes. Couldn't believe it. I went to the earlier service because I figured maybe there'll be parking. Because this particular one, it's on a pretty busy road, and I've driven past it sometimes on Sundays and seen cops out there directing traffic off the road because it gets so crazy. And I'm glad I did that. It was a wise move. It was still packed, but it was pretty easy to get parking. But man, that is a wild, wild experience. Walking into the place, it was like a airport. I felt like when I walked into the worship center. See, I forget I think they called it a worship center rather than a church or something. Just the label on the building outside. The kind of lobby, the front entranceway felt like I walked into an airport. it's sort of overwhelming sensorially, so I didn't really get a good read on it. That was just I think there was like a lot of digital displays and screens, and again, just kind of the architecture. I wish I knew better terminology, architectural terms, but modern, I guess, clean, kind of modern. Again, kind of like a modern airport is what it felt like. Which is interesting. I have to say, I don't really like that. I didn't, that's not really what I was looking for. I mean, let me not be so judgmental, because I pretty much knew not the specific details, but I know what a mega church is. And, I watch Joel Osteen from time to time, and that's whatever this experience was today. It's that maxed out, volume turned up to 11. By comparison, this was a humble local I don't know what the right comparison would be. Mom and pop's church. That's not right. Anyways. And then you walk into the actual center, and it was like walking into a concert venue. Felt like I was walking into the feeling I've had. It's been a long time since I've done anything like that, but going to a big, like, arena type of, that kind of feeling when you're walking in and just opening into this vast auditorium with, hundreds, thousands of seats, big stage. Yeah, and there's a lot of just little things. The way they do communion, they have this basket when you enter, and it's got the communal elements, the wine and it's like a little wit cracker, basically, and sealed off in this kind of little cup type of a deal. And you take that, and then and that makes sense at a certain level, just the practicalities of trying to get that many people through a communion line would be just insane. So efficiency there. And at least there was, to their credit, both communal elements. Yeah, I want to open this up and do a bigger discussion on spirituality and Christianity, but and the music, it was like a rock concert. I mean, it's modern evangelical worship music, full, probably high, very expensive, professional quality sound setup. Multiple guitars, full drum kit, multiple singers. Nothing that really surprised me, but I think this is the first time I've ever really done something like this. I gotta say, it was a kick in the pants, and not in the best of ways, like 9 o'clock in the morning, and just to get like a rock concert blasted at you felt very jarring, just to be honest. It was like, wow. In my mind, I was headed out to, hear some just sweet, not that it wouldn't be loud or something, but, Christmas music, and I was excited for that. But anyways, I wasn't really as turned off as I thought I might be in many ways, aside from what I just kind of expressed about certain aspects, music and stuff. They seem very sincere in there. It wasn't like, I mean, first of all, I had this thought as I was walking out. I was like, man, this is like one of the most American things I could be doing at this moment in time, walking into this big evangelical church on a Sunday. And there's something just very American about this manifestation, this configuration of a church service, the mega church. that model may have spread, but and I may be getting some of this history wrong, but I don't think so. I think it's a very American phenomenon, even if it now has, satellites or correlates in other countries. But it wasn't like prosperity gospel. It was, I mean, it was pretty grounded in the Bible and the actual message. Yeah, there's this whole kind of, it's very appealing. I can see the appeal for a lot of people to be involved in something like that, because there's this high gloss to it, which I gotta say I don't feel totally resonant with. Just, I mean, the whole image of it, the whole kind of aesthetics of it, the energy, the vibe of it is kind of this high gloss. Shiny. It's like a very shiny object, the whole experience. I can't think of a good way to express it, but and I don't even want to say that that's necessarily bad. I mean, people are free to congregate and express themselves, and I don't think it's necessary to have a like shabby, rundown, church in order to express, in a humble and sincere way, devotion to God and stuff like that. So I can't really, even though aesthetically it was kind of overwhelming. And I mean, I guess part of it for me was like, maybe that's just, again, sort of a dispositional, temperamental personality thing more than anything. But it doesn't feel, the feeling of that experience is not like a super holy one for me. It feels, yeah, like going to, I don't know, I can't really think of a good way to express it right now, but just by way of contrast, stepping into like this Catholic church I've been going to, feels like you're crossing a threshold into something where there's kind of this reverential awe. The Catholic service has a sobriety there that I appreciate. And I've talked about this in other videos. I think I've erased probably some of them at least. But that there's a sobriety and there's this kind of groundedness. And as I've thought about that groundedness that you feel that I feel in a Catholic church, and especially among the congregation and stuff, I think it has to do with the historical depth that's present there. And I like that. I like that. I like the high liturgy aspects of Catholic and other Orthodox services. The sobriety, the kind of, it's easier for me to get out of myself. It feels like less is being, there's like a performance anxiety or performative element in these evangelical churches. It's something like that. I don't really feel in the Catholic Church. I can kind of just relax, settle, and just open to God and kind of let the liturgy move through me. And they're quieter, It's less of a spectacle. And forgive me again, it's hard to say how much of this is temperamental, but I'm just trying to be honest. I'm just riffing right now, kind of my thoughts on all this. Whereas this experience today it's like sensory overload, it's kind of titillation, it's a lot. It's a lot. And for me, in a way, you feel more self-conscious in those services somehow. I feel more self-conscious. Anyways, you feel more self-conscious. Yeah, the sense I got was, yeah, these were sincere people. Bible was being preached. And it was interesting. It was interesting. I wish I had gotten my Christmas music. But it's not too late. It's not too late. You know, maybe I should stop the video there. Do a shortish video for once. There's more to say, but maybe I could break it up. So take care.